Hello and welcome to the Literary Lair, and to the third week of Classic Novel Month. This week we look at an old favorite of mine, Tom Sawyer. Now, I wish I had the copy that I first read, despite that it was a dumbed-down kids version, but I lost the copy and I haven't been able to find it. So, let's just get right to it. The cover has varied over the years, but they almost always depict the scene where Tom tricks his friends into whitewashing a fence. So, on to the story proper. The story begins with Tom Sawyer, who lives with his Aunt Polly and his half-brother Sid in the Mississippi River town of St. Petersburg, Missouri. One day, he decides to play hooky from school and ends up dirtying his clothes in a fight. He's punished by being forced to whitewash the fence on Saturday as punishment. At first, he's disappointed that he has to forfeit his day off, but he soon cleverly persuades his friends to trade him small treasures for the privilege of doing his work for him. He trades them for tickets given out in Sunday school for memorizing Bible verses, and uses the tickets to claim a Bible as a prize. He loses a lot of the glory, though, when in response to a question to show off his knowledge, he incorrectly answers that the first two disciples were David and Goliath. That's dumb. Everyone knows that the first two disciples were Grand Moff Tarkin and Simon Belmont. Tom falls in love with Becky Thatcher, a new girl in town, and persuades her to get engaged to him. Their romance collapses, however, when she learns that he has been engaged in the past to a girl named Amy Lawrence. That's what he gets for putting all his info on Facebook. Shortly after being shunned by Becky, Tom accompanies Huckleberry Finn, the son of the town drunk, to the graveyard at night to try the cure for warts. Spoiler alert, it's McDonald's secret sauce. At the graveyard, they witness the murder of Dr. Robinson by the Native American half-breed, Injun Joe. Where did he come from? Where did he go? Where did he come from? Injun Joe. Scared, Tom and Huck run away and swear a blood oath not to tell anyone what they've seen. Who would sign an oath in blood?
Someone who badly needed a pen.
Injun Joe blames his companion, Muff Potter, a hapless drunk and the grandfather of James Potter, for the crime. Potter is wrongfully arrested, and the Potter name besmirched until Harry defeats Voldemort. And then Tom's anxiety and guilt begin to grow. And that's why he's a fantastic character, because he might be a jerk, but he wants to be a good guy in the end. Tom, Huck, and Tom's friend, Joe Harper, run away to an island to become pirates. While frolicking around and enjoying their newfound freedom, the boys become aware that the community is sounding the river for their bodies. Tom sneaks back home one night to observe the commotion. After a brief moment of remorse at the suffering of his loved ones, Tom is struck by the idea of appearing at his own funeral and surprising everyone. He persuades Joe and Huck to do the same. I want to do that, have a fake funeral and sneak in the back, and when they go up to pay their respects, go up with them and turn to the person next to me and say, "I'm really gonna miss him," and watch the chaos ensue. Their return is met with great rejoicing, and they become the envy and admiration of all their friends. Because, if you want to become popular, fake your own death. Back in school, Tom gets himself back in Becky's favor after he nobly accepts the blame for a book that she's ripped. Soon, Muff Potter's trial begins, and Tom, overcome with guilt, testifies against Joe. Potter's acquitted, but Injun Joe flees the courtroom through a window. Summer arrives, and Tom and Huck go hunting for buried treasure in a haunted house. After venturing upstairs, they hear a noise below. Peering through holes in the floor, they see Injun Joe enter the house disguised as a deaf-mute Spaniard. He and his companion, an unkempt man, plan to bury some stolen treasure of their own. From their hiding spot, Tom and Huck wriggle with delight at the prospect of digging it up. By an amazing coincidence, Joe and his partner find a buried box of gold themselves. When they see Tom and Huck's tools, they become suspicious that someone is sharing their hiding place and carry the gold off instead of reburying it. Huck begins to shadow Injun Joe every night, watching for an opportunity to nab the gold. Meanwhile, Tom goes on a picnic to McDougal's cave with Becky and their classmates. That same night, Huck sees Injun Joe and his partner making off with the box. He follows and overhears their plans to attack the Widow Douglas, a kind resident of St. Petersburg. By running to fetch help, Huck forestalls the violence and becomes an anonymous hero, much like Zorro. Or Batman. Tom and Becky get lost in the cave, and their absence is not discovered until the following morning. Are you kidding me? Really, their absence wasn't discovered until the following morning. Their parents didn't wonder where they were. And in Tom's case, his aunt and half-brother were just like, oh, Tom's out. He's probably not dead this time. The men of the town begin to search for them, but they have no luck. Tom and Becky run out of food and candles, and they begin to weaken. The horror of the situation increases when Tom, looking for a way out, happens upon Joe, who's using the cave as a hideout. Eventually, just as the searchers are giving up, Tom finds a way out. The town celebrates, and Becky's father, Judge Thatcher... Oh, he's the judge. Yeah, I'm sure the moment his daughter didn't come home from that picnic, he didn't immediately send the entire town on a hunt for her. Locks up the cave, Injun Joe, trapped inside, starves to death. That was dark! I know he was a murderer, but... Jesus! Just dies? A week later, Tom takes Huck to the cave and they find the box of gold, the proceeds of which are invested for them. The Widow Douglas adopts Huck, and when Huck attempts to escape civilized life, Tom promises him that if he returns to the Widow, he can join Tom's rubber band. Reluctantly, Huck agrees, and the book ends. So, that was Tom Sawyer. Was it good? Of course it was good. It was a Mark Twain book, and he was a pretty good author. It was a great book, and it had some great characters. And next week, we reach the end of Classic Novel Month with another Mark Twain book.